It's time for Saint Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.
Welcome. This is a special edition of Saint Lucia Magazine, the review of 2023. It is a reflection on the events and milestones that shaped 2023. The year in government unfolds with a number of government initiatives to build resilience, adaptation, and the pursuit of a brighter future for Saint Lucia. The review follows the work of all ministries, from the intricacies of domestic policies to the complexities of international relations. We take a look back at how government's efforts at home responded to the unprecedented challenges and opportunities that characterized the global landscape. I am Nivalo Geist with the 2023 Year in Review. 2023 may have experienced the COVID-19 pandemic in somewhat of a rearview mirror. However, in spite of its receding significance, government has learned some lessons from the pandemic, which was the subject of the Ministry of Health's COVID After Action Review. Simultaneously, health economics, social welfare, and justice took center stage when government expanded a safety net to support pregnant women and elderly citizens access critical healthcare services.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma-George said St. Lucia was the first country in the region to request an after-action review following COVID-19.
My assessments of what we've gone through with COVID, I've looked at the positives and seen where our health system has grown because of COVID. The sad part were the hospitalizations and the deaths, but it has served to strengthen the health system as a whole, and I think it's important that we ensure that we sustain whatever measures are put in place moving forward.
In what officials have described as a progressive maternal health development, the Government of Saint Lucia has embarked on universal health coverage, opening up access to pregnant women to receive key services at no cost from primary health institutions. Family nurse practitioner Yolanda Alcindor says this is an important step in prioritizing maternal and child health in the country.
Care during pregnancy, delivery, and postnatal, ensuring that every family has access to reproductive health services, vaccination, specialty clinics, mental health services, and nutritional counseling.
Head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at OKEUH, Dr. Lucilla Charles, says the complexities of pregnancy is always a challenge, and a mechanism which allows pregnant women to access the basket of services needed with zero cost for some of the services which affords better care, not just those who have the money, but also for those struggling financially.
I think quite a fair amount of women, number of women, can actually afford the test. But there are also a wide segment of the population who are not able. And when they hear that there must be a blood count, and then in addition to the blood count, we need to know the blood group, and we need to know that whether you have sickle cell trait, because we have a lot of persons walking around who seem all right, but the trait exists, not just in the mother, but potentially in the father. And it can mean that your baby may be born with full-blown sickle cell disease, which can be quite an impactful process. So there are ultrasounds to be done, and you heard not one, not two, sometimes multiple, especially when we are dealing with high-risk patients who may require an ultrasound every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks. So it can amount to a lot of money. And so because it takes so much money, some pregnant ladies do not do the test. Sometimes they don't even go for the free health care.
The St. Lucia Cabinet of Ministers has approved the establishment of the Golden 80 Plus Health Package. Citizens 80 years and older will be able to access a package of health services with no out-of-pocket expenditure. The free services are available upon submission of any form of national identification.
The completion of St. Jude's Hospital continued to be a highly charged debate issue in 2023. The government maintained the position that it was committed to balancing public welfare, fiscal responsibility, and addressing the pressing need for essential healthcare infrastructure, effective governance, and responsible decision-making.
The Government of Saint Lucia, led by Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, has achieved another significant milestone in the more than 13-year process to reconstruct the St. Jude Hospital, which was severely damaged by fire in 2009.
And the people of the South will get a new facility. They will get a new facility. It's no longer they might get. They will get a new facility, thanks to our friends from Saudi Arabia.
Prime Minister Pierre has prioritized sourcing the financing needed to complete the project and pursued bilateral negotiations with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Within 2 years since Prime Minister Pierre assumed office in 2021, the Saudi Fund for Development has agreed to commit nearly $75 million for the purposes of completing construction works and procuring the necessary medical equipment, furniture, and fixtures for the St. Jude Hospital.
Today marks an exciting and bright chapter for the both of our countries, with the signing of development loan agreement worth $75 million.
Sports fans, athletics, and football fraternities will be pleased to know that the funding from the Saudi government will also be used to rehabilitate the George Odlum National Stadium. Having successfully restarted construction on the original construction site in November 2022 and secured the funding to complete the remaining construction phases, Prime Minister Pierre has finally ensured the transfer of St. Jude Hospital operations from the George Odlum National Stadium to its original home is imminent.
We cannot remain in the stadium for much longer. And this government, headed by Honorable Philip J. Pierre, is determined to look for all collaborations and to hold hands with all men and women of goodwill from all countries. And I'm so thankful that your country has stepped forth and your organization has stepped forth to say, yes, we are going to be part of humanity and we're going to assist you to develop your hospital.
Meanwhile, the importance of healthcare infrastructure was amplified in the implementation of structures for universal healthcare and re-engineering of the Victoria Hospital to expand public health services.
Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, the Honorable Moses Jabatis, spoke on his government's commitment to improve health service coverage for the St. Lucian population.
We have also taken the recommendation of the ministry that we create a specific unit for the universal healthcare program, and we have created that unit. We are currently looking to staff that unit and to ensure that we have focused attention on universal healthcare. We believe it's very important for the people of St. Lucia when we look at our disease profile and the challenges we have in healthcare. And also when we look at the cost of healthcare, we know that the people of St. Lucia require that kind of assistance.
Under universal health coverage, we have what you call an essential package of health services, where we plan to give it to the public of St. Lucia in phases, step by step. What we say in French Creole, tipa, tipa, okay? The important thing about it is that the funding from the Health Citizen Security Levy will be one of the sources that will be able to be used to fund the essential package of health services that we plan to give to the population of St. Lucia.
Cabinet, by conclusion 110 of 2023, directed that the Victoria Hospital or the respiratory hospital be repurposed, and it should include the following. That 1, the respiratory hospital will be a multi-purpose medical facility comprising primary health services,
urgent health care, and a secondary health care facility. The facility will be developed and operate under the theme, One Patient, Three Services. That the administrative section, former accident and emergency department, the Francis Dolto building, and the area allocated to the Cuban Eye Clinic of the Respiratory Hospital are designated to be designed and operated as the Castries Urban Polyclinic.
The government is mapping out an educational landscape that will expand access to education to a wide section of St. Lucians. The government's first-generation scholarship is building on the foundation of scholarships from friendly governments, foremost the Republic of China, Taiwan, Cuba, Morocco, and from local institution Monroe College. And an over $3 million allocation to the St. Lucia Development Bank for students to access unsecured loans was passed in Parliament.
Be it resolved that the Parliament authorizes the Minister for Finance to guarantee an amount of $3,704,000, the loan from the Caribbean Development Bank to guarantee a student loan line of credit on behalf of the Saint Lucia Development Bank.
We are investing millions of dollars into our higher education program. We believe that students who come from families that do not have the means should not be disadvantaged. In the year 2023, your socio-economic circumstances should not be an impediment to you realizing your educational potential.
The tourism sector had a remarkable year. In the spotlights, Global Port Holdings has committed to the completion of the St. Lucia Cruise Port Investment Project within 2 years once construction begins. A surge in investor interest has set the stage for unprecedented growth in the accommodation sector. St. Lucia grabs international accolades, winning an impressive list of awards in the World Travel Awards, and at home, the inaugural Tourism Awards, the GMEs, celebrates businesses and individuals, making a major mark in the industry.
On August 2nd, 2023, Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre and Investment Minister Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, on behalf of the Government of Saint Lucia, signed a landmark development agreement with Global Port Holdings, GPH.
We certainly look forward with eager excitement to the immediate commencement of works and the implementation of the agreements. The Castries waterfront will look a lot better with a redeveloped vendors arcade. We've worked on improving the berthing at Port Castries. Included also is the removal of the old customs building and a rationalization of that area there. Another exciting addition for me is the boardwalk that will be built from the vendors arcade to the Sanssouci Bridge. I think it would create a whole new added experience for cruise passengers. Those of us who work on the waterfront will tell you when the cruise ships are there, hundreds, thousands of visitors walk to Castries city center. And just having that experience along the waterfront to add to their experience of Castries will be something special.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre leads a government which has taken decisive action to redevelop Port Castries and the Soufrière waterfront, increase St. Lucia's share of the multi-billion-dollar cruise tourism industry, and ensure sustainable economic expansion.
We have to find ways to allow you to make the return on your investment, but we also have to find ways to make the people benefit. Then we must find ways for the people to benefit from these agreements. And this is the philosophical position of the government. And I mean, we make no excuses for it. There can be no agreement that doesn't involve the people of the country where the people will benefit. And I really thank you for understanding that.
Congratulations on the award this evening. How does it feel?
Oh, we are so excited. It's the 14th time. And on behalf of everybody in St. Lucia, all the hotel partners, all the providers, everyone involved in the honeymoon industry, we say thank you. Thank you for helping us get this award for the 14th time. We really are so excited tonight.
Any plans or developments for the future?
Yes, we are hoping that we are investing in the products, we're investing in hotels, so we want to keep this award forever.
Congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We want our workers in the hospitality sector to see the reward of a GMAs for their performance as the highest level of achievement within the tourism industry. Then you would ask, why is that important? It is important because tourism is the main driver of our economy. Tourism brings in the most revenue for this country. Almost 40% of our GDP is from tourism directly. And if you measure it indirectly, it will probably amount to almost 60%. That means the tourism industry is singularly important for the national development of St. Lucia.
The government of St. Lucia made huge inroads in addressing the post-COVID-19 recovery in a multi-pronged approach to bolster struggling businesses and provide financial relief to individuals who lost their income due to the pandemic's impact. The government initiated the MSME Loan Grant Facility and the $1,500 post-COVID income support program. The two schemes were coupled with a well-received period poverty initiative.
The Ministry of Commerce, led by Honorable Emma Hippolyte, in collaboration with the St. Lucia Development Bank, officially launched the MSME Loan Grant Facility. 10 million EC dollars has been allocated to the MSME Loan Grant Facility. At least 500 small business owners stand to benefit from the facility, which offers qualified applicants improved access to financing to facilitate startups and business expansion.
We have to have wealth creators. We can't have only people working for people. The service industry is fine. I'm 100% supporter of the service industries. But we need to have people to create things so that the people in the service industry can enjoy. We need to have innovators. We need entrepreneurs. We need small businesses to develop.
Qualified entrepreneurs and new business owners can access up to 10,000 EC dollars. Eligible businesses less than 2 years old can apply for up to $20,000, and qualified businesses operating for more than 2 years will be eligible to receive up to $25,000. Funding is apportioned in the ratio 70% grant and 30% loan at a concessionary rate of just 3% for successful applicants.
The first batch of St. Lucians involved in the informal sector have begun receiving their much-anticipated payout of $1,500 under the Government Income Support Program ISP via the safety nets for vulnerable populations affected by the coronavirus project. Overseen by the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, the ceremony on December 22, 2023 saw over 300 ordinary St. Lucians receiving financial assistance that will help them in their economic recovery, a crucial financial helping hand as they continue to grapple with the challenges posed by the persistent impacts of COVID-19.
You know, at the look of the persons were there, you would see ordinary St. Lucians, farmers, you would have seen persons, part of the informal sector. And having a glance of these individuals this morning was a great joy for me to see the ordinary persons who make St. Lucia what it is. Of course, sometimes we speak of the formal workers, those working in establishments, but those persons who are earning a living on their own, you know, running micro businesses, the vendors and a host of them. These people are very, very important to the Prime Minister and to our government, and we care about them so much, and we want to make this small contribution. And like we said to them, it is not a lot of money, but $1,500 receiving it at this time of the year, it's a wonderful gesture for most of them.
The Income Support Program underscores government's commitment to ensure that everyone is accounted for. This kind of support is in keeping with the ministry's mandate to offer empowerment, support, and also to help build resilience among our service users.
We negotiated with the CDB for a loan of just a little less than $6 million
US dollars, I think $5.7 million US dollars for COVID support in several areas. Some 4,000 people will be getting $1,500. The $1,500 that I spoke of when I was in opposition, and I said that is what should be paid. Because of this intervention by the Government of Saint Lucia, through the Ministry of Equity, I can say that from November, after a process of applications, that will be dealt with on a level of who needs it. Each eligible will get $1,500.
Consumer concerns regarding the seemingly increasing costs of sanitary products prompted the Consumer Affairs Department to conduct an investigation into VAT-registered retailers.
I want to state categorically that once the Government of Saint Lucia has implemented a revised tax measure, it is to be applied immediately. Business owners claim not to have known about this tax revision, notwithstanding that the Inland Revenue Department confirmed that all VAT-registered businesses were contacted several weeks in advance of this implementation.
On September 12th, Minister for Commerce, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, disclosed the findings in Parliament. Most VAT-registered retailers were found to be non-compliant with government's legislated suspension of VAT on sanitary towel products.
Through commercial cooperation, we have been able to obtain this data and have noted with some disappointment non-compliance in certain instances. From our database, which contained most of the VAT-related businesses engaged in the supply of sanitary products, 80% submitted baseline data for analysis. Out of that, only 25% are in compliance.
The Commerce Minister urged compliance and appealed to the private sector and Chamber of Commerce lobby to cooperate with the government.
That even among the compliant businesses, the full 12.5% reduction has not been passed on to the consumer. Based on data extrapolated from the analysis conducted by our department, markups on sanitary products range from a whopping 90% to 155%, Mr. Speaker.
As the government works to end period poverty, policy decisions include the eventual addition of sanitary towels, napkins, and other menstrual hygiene products on the government's designated list of price control goods.
The 2023-2024 budget, according to Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, was informed by the strategic objectives of health, national security, and economic sustainability. The government implemented a series of dynamic fiscal measures to include the introduction of a health and security levy aimed at enhancing public welfare and ensuring the safety and security of citizens, a targeted removal of VAT on essential building materials, an extension of tax amnesty programs, and the launch of a renewable energy concession program.
The government's policy decision to implement a health and security levy of 2.5% on select goods and services has the public and key stakeholders requesting clarification and information on the details of its implementation. In response, the Inland Revenue Department, IRD, has deployed officers to numerous VAT-registered entities to clarify how the levy is to be applied. Felicia Ellie is the acting Deputy Comptroller of the IRD.
We are charged with the responsibility to administer the tax laws, quite a number of them in St. Lucia, and to ensure that things are in place to accommodate the taxpayers from across St. Lucia, across the world, who have dealings with St. Lucia, and also to ensure that the laws are administered in a manner that is fair.
The lower house expressed support for the Prime Minister's resolution to suspend VAT charges on plywood, lumber, cement, steel, galvanized, and solar PV systems for a period of 2 years from August 2nd, 2023 to August 1st, 2025.
Even if the cost of these goods increase, even if they increase, at the end of the day, before August the 2nd, you have had to pay 12.5% more. With the removal of VAT, with the zero rating on VAT, you'll have to pay 12 and you will not have to pay the 12.5%. So you'll make a savings of 12.5% even if the price increases.
Home remodeling and renovation projects will be more affordable for the average St. Lucian. Contractors will also benefit from the reduced cost of building materials for medium to larger construction projects. Consumers will benefit from a 12.5% reduction in the cost of building materials as a direct result of Prime Minister Pierre's VAT amnesty.
A critical element of the 2023 year was what the government said was bold efforts to better the life of the people of St. Lucia, a payout to government pensioners, teachers, removal of tax on small government contracts up to $10,000, and $10 million in tax refunds from the Inland Revenue Department had a resounding impact on the beneficiaries.
A $600 increase in the one-time allowance to teachers.
When you received the news that the allocation would be increased, what was your reaction? How did you feel?
It was about time. So I'm very happy about that.
I think that it's a positive step.
It will benefit the kids a lot and it will help the teachers. But for sure, yes, it will definitely help.
It is absolutely necessary, and I think that the decision to keep it and to even increase it is one that is commendable.
I do a lot of drains, roads, and this sort of thing. I'm more into that sort of thing, drains and roads. During the withholding tax, guys would come to me for work, and I really want to get them a job, but I couldn't because I knew where I'd be losing. It was like, wow, but you have to pay tax for it? You have so much money, you have to pay your tax. You spend so much on the job, sometimes you lose because of the weather, and you still have to pay that sort of tax. It was a difficult thing to swallow. I never really liked it. Before the break, I would hire like 2-3 guys. But now I could hire 5-6, bring in some more guys, because I have more money to spend. I could buy more tools. My barrels are old. But I could buy some more of those things. Of course it helps a lot, quite a bit.
Initially I heard that the Honorable Prime Minister made a promise to give pensioners a blessing of $600 at the end of November. I heard that a few weeks ago. And then the day salaries came in, I called and I said, check my salary for me, please. So the young lady in the credit union checked it, and when she told me how much I received, I realized there was an extra $600, so I think I screamed her ears. She may have become deaf because that $600 came in. I don't even know how to say it. It was perfect timing.
When I heard my neighbor screaming and dancing in the house. So I went outside and said, what's the matter? And she says to me, we have it. I said, what do you have? And she says, well, $600. I said, from where? And what? She said, you didn't know? I said, no. She told me actually the government had promised $600 to pensioners to be paid at the end of November. I said, oh my, I actually prayed for $600, so the Lord has handed me $600. So I was pretty excited.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul for that gift, for that blessing, okay? I am sure every single government pensioner is grateful to you, but some of us just don't express how we feel. Sometimes we're afraid, sometimes we're shy. I'm usually shy, but I needed to say thank you so much for that blessing. I am also an entertainer, and since COVID, I haven't worked. Since March 2020, I haven't worked. So I've been relying heavily on the pension, and the extra $600 is just amazing. And thank you.
The Bible says, what does God require of man? And the answer is to walk humbly, to do justly, and to love mercy. So this afternoon, I take this opportunity to pray for the Prime Minister and his cabinet, and especially the Prime Minister, that he will continue to walk humbly. He will continue to love mercy and do justly. And when I talk about do justice, I'm talking about the vulnerable, the underprivileged, the indigents, those that do not have a voice. He will have to be the voice of those many. But you know what? This is a government I describe as promises made, promises kept.
On the diplomatic front, the Taiwanese government's contribution to the economy was recorded in all major sectors of agriculture and fisheries, education, international trade, national security, investment, and infrastructure. In one of government's major initiatives, the Community Development Program, CDP, the Taiwanese government committed $18.5 million to the financing of programs under the CDP.
The Constituency Development Program, CDP, has received an EC $18.5 million injection from the Republic of China on Taiwan. On April 11th, His Excellency Peter Chia Chen presented to the Cabinet of Ministers and invited guests the fruits of St. Lucia's labor from the table of diplomacy with an important development partner and enduring ally, the government and people of Taiwan.
And we are honored to be part of this vital development project with the Saint Lucian government.
Carefully managed diplomatic relations with Taiwan by the government of St. Lucia and the Ministry of External Affairs continue to yield mutually appreciated benefits that redound to the socio-economic development of St. Lucian citizens and also contribute to the development of the island's 17 constituencies.
The second phase of the Seven Crops Project, a joint collaboration between the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development and the Taiwan Technical Mission, is in lockstep with CARICOM's 25 by 2025 initiative, which is aimed at reducing extra regional agri-food imports by 25% by 2025. In their latest feat, the Seven Crops Project handed over inputs as well as battery-operated small machinery to the Agriculture Ministry as part of the efforts to create a more sustainable and appealing agriculture sector.
We hope to introduce a more effective, efficient, and smarter farming. As for the citizens, Taiwan Technical Mission joined with the Ministry of Agriculture to allow farmers to attend citizens at affordable prices.
Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, expressed his gratitude to the government and people of Taiwan for their ongoing assistance in enhancing the overall effectiveness of St. Lucia's agri-food system.
We must reach out to our farmers to ensure that they buy into those new technologies, because we need that new technology for the agricultural sector. We cannot continue to put our farmers through the hard work that they've been doing and getting little in return. So I'm hoping that the tillers and the other pieces of equipment that we have received from the government and people of Taiwan will be efficiently utilized by the farmers, and the farmers will see the success of it, they will benefit from it, and we can encourage our farmers to procure those various pieces of equipment to make life much easier for them in the agricultural sector.
St. Lucia and Taiwan relations continue to positively impact the lives of the citizenry through various development initiatives. Taiwan has made available a further $3.2 million in development funding, which the peer administration will channel through the St. Lucian community. Part of the Taiwanese funding was allocated to construct the Bassin Joseph Human Resource Development Center in the Castries South constituency. The funds will also support the government's maintenance program for sporting facilities throughout the island.
In an effort to restore law and order, government took action to arrest a spate of violent crimes, particularly in the south of the island. Supporting police efforts on ground with personnel from Regional Security System, RSS, the passage of legislation to strengthen the hands of the police, construction of a new detention facility, and the construction of a Northern Divisional Police Headquarters.
Saint Lucia held the official launch of the Regional Security System Unity Exercise, UNEX, at the Ministry of Infrastructure in Union. UNEX is being implemented under the RSS 11th European Development Fund project in collaboration with the European Union and the Saint Lucia government. According to the staff officer of exercises at the Regional Security System Training Institute in Barbados, Lieutenant Colonel Roberto Beltran, UNEX aims at improving mechanisms for regional cooperation within the Regional Security System RSS in response to security issues such as drug trafficking, terrorism, and other threats to border security. Minister for Public Service, Home Affairs, Labour and Gender Affairs, Honorable Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot said the exercise could not have come at a more opportune time.
The support of the RSS, as you know, a few months ago, did have a very great impact in curbing the violent incidents we had, especially in the Vieux-Fort areas. However, they have not actually left the country. They are still around, not maybe in the full force, because our law enforcement officers have stepped up to the plate. So I look forward to greater intervention and support as we move on, not just physical presence, sometimes in the technical area, and giving advice on how we handle intelligence and other areas of national security.
The government recognizes the harm that can be caused to communities in Saint Lucia, not only in Vieux-Fort, as a result of increasing crime. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the crime of supplying and distributing illegal guns and firearms can cause harm to the users and to the country generally. In addition, the supply of illegal ammunition and illegal firearms threatens the lives of and causes harm to people who are sometimes innocent. The formation of gangs with the whole purpose of committing crimes and causing harm to individuals in society lends to the increased occurrences of crime in Saint Lucia.
The Police Powers Act, constructed by the Attorney General, Honorable Leslie Mondesi, in consultation with the High Command of the Police Force, is a legal instrument that establishes a framework to protect public order, public safety, and economic stability. Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, has laid the groundwork to construct a new detention facility where custody suites once stood.
The custody suites, you know, we speak about crime. We're very concerned about crime. But one of the basic problems is when you arrest people, you must get somewhere to put them. The last government destroyed the custody suites, and no one has accounted for it. Why would you destroy a holding cell, a holding place for people who are arrested?
The Northern Divisional Police Headquarters project was initiated in 2016. Regrettably, such a critical opportunity to improve citizen security and modernize and upgrade the occupational conditions of the members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force stagnated for an inordinate period of time, until Prime Minister Pierre intervened in 2022.
From 2017, you speak about a situation where your men and women and the police force are working in conditions that were not fit for people to work in. I remember coming here in 2021 and visiting the Grosvenor police station and apologizing to the officers for the conditions under which they worked. And from 2017, a government has had that opportunity to improve the conditions of work for these men and women. They refuse to do it. But instead, what they get involved in is things that are on the periphery, things that have no relevance to crime in this country.
The Prime Minister's decision to pursue the construction of the Northern Divisional Police Headquarters project underscores the government's commitment to the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force and the protective services.
This project can be considered one of the most important for the constituents of Grousley.
Building the Northern Divisional Police Headquarters satisfies a critical law enforcement need and further strengthens the national security mechanisms.
To state that this will be a state-of-the-art police station, it will be a police station that will provide the police officers the facilities that they need to carry out their duties.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pierre joined other CARICOM heads of government in a symposium on crime, and St. Lucia's transition to the Caribbean Court of Justice (CCJ) was hailed as an important development in the self-actualization of the nation and confidence in regional jurisprudence.
Under the theme, Violence as a Public Health Issue, the Crime Challenge, the Regional Symposium seeks to promote dialogue and regional action aimed at violence reduction and crime prevention.
Public health and public security share similar policy objectives, as they both aim to provide the maximum benefit for the most people. In considering the application of the public health approach to crime and violence in our region, there are a number of observations and questions to which we hope the symposium can provide answers. At the regional level, I see parallels between the role played by CARFA in a public health context and impacts. Therefore, I see a reformulated impacts that will adapt CARFA techniques to take the lead in the application of the regional public health approach to the prevention of crime and violence.
What has been a 22-year pursuit to attain regional jurisprudence that began in 2001 came full circle on February 28, 2023, when the proposed Constitution Amendment Bill became due for a second reading in the House of Assembly. The bill would cause St. Lucia to part ways with Britain's Privy Council and accede to the appellate jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. Former Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Kenny Anthony joined 11 other CARICOM member states and signed the agreement establishing the CCJ in 2001. St. Lucia is now on course to become the 5th CARICOM member state to accede to the appellate jurisdiction of the CCJ.
A flagship program of the Government of Saint Lucia, the Youth Economy, is harnessing the energy, creativity, and entrepreneurial spirit of young people to reshape industries, influence consumer trends, and foster innovations and social and economic well-being of this major demographic. Youth-driven prosperity is a cornerstone of the youth economy.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre's new youth economy has signaled to the island's youth their needs will continue to influence policy to help create a more conducive economic environment that promotes entrepreneurship and facilitates business development and growth. The Taiwanese government has bought in, and on October 17th, Ambassador His Excellency Peter Chen formally handed over more than $136,000, which will be used to operationalize the Pierre administration's youth economy program.
Youth economy is the future of a country's development, and it is only right that we invest in our future. Today's ceremony demonstrates Taiwan's commitment to continue investing in youth in St. Lucia, in line with Prime Minister's youth economy policy.
More than $10 million has been allocated to the youth economy program.
You can't tell a young person who wants $5,000. You can ask them who was their mother, who was their father, what experience they have. Well, no. They have an idea. The idea is workable. We've looked at it, and we're going to help them, assist them. The money that we're going to give as loans will not be disbursed from the agency itself. We will have to go into an arrangement with a financial institution where the loan portion of the funding will go to that financial institution, and the young person will be responsible to the financial institution. But the financial institution will have to be flexible. And that's why you're calling on the Saint Lucia Development Bank to put its house in order so they can receive these applications and deliver it in a flexible manner.
Minister for Youth Development and Sports and Member of Parliament for Grosole, Honorable Kenson Casimir, is the youngest minister in Honorable Pear's cabinet. Honorable Casimir believes the youth economy has the potential to transform the lives of the island's young and aspiring entrepreneurs.
With the youth economy, I'm very excited about the prospects that it will bring for a number of St. Lucians. And as the Minister of Sports, I continue to work very closely with the ministry in terms of our skills database, how we can use our skills database to provide the advice for young persons who want a small loan to further themselves. And so I'm super excited, and I want to say thank you to the Taiwanese government for making that contribution into our young people. And these are the investments that are going to be life-changing for people that before could not see a way beyond just their talent and skill, but they're going to use it to make themselves, the family, the community, and St. Lucia better.
Welcome to the official opening of the Youth Economy Agency's physical office. I say physical because we have in fact been operating virtually for the past several weeks since our launching. The Youth Economy Agency is on a mission to create a vibrant and dynamic economic space targeted at the young people of St. Lucia. We expect that the various interventions of YE in the coming weeks, months, and years will also lead to the formation of an economic ecosystem of young entrepreneurs procuring goods and services from each other, as well as with the national and global economy.
And on that note of youth endeavors, St. Lucia's 2023 Carifta Games team returned home to a hero's welcome. St. Lucia's best ever medal tally in a showcase of the talents of Naomi London in athletics and Tristan Dorville in swimming.
After enjoying St. Lucia's most successful outing in terms of medal count with 8 total medals in the Bahamas, the team is brimming with confidence. Double silver sprint medalist Naomi London says she wants to be an inspiration to young athletes.
We need to nurture our athletes. I mean, we can do it. There's so many more little kids who will wish that they have a medal on their neck from Carifta. So I think as a young athlete, I will inspire the rest, and we will come together just to form a larger group next year for Carifta.
For the first time ever, St. Lucia secured medals in every division, and St. Lucian athletes climbed the medal rostrum in every event group in which they were entered. The national team was cheered on by tens of thousands watching live on TV and online, glued to the exploits of the island's champions, who rewarded parents, fans, friends, and fellow citizens with the best performance ever by athletes from the Helen of the West.
The greatest moment at these games was to hear the commentators. I remember last year it was about the DVI, but this year it was about St. Lucia, St. Lucia, St. Lucia. So I think that we went out there and we actually gave a very good account of ourselves. It just goes to show that we have the ability. Our size does not matter. It's about our commitments and we're willing to go out there and perform. And we did this, we executed well, and so I can only imagine what is yet to come.
The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, along with the St. Lucia Athletics Association, have pledged to work more closely with one another in hopes of putting together a bigger, stronger team to head over to the Spice Island one year hence. In a bid for more podium appearances, the intention is to find more opportunities for young athletes to compete on the regional stage, the better to prepare them for the Carifta Games.
We have to do a number of things. Firstly, we have to ensure that the facilities are up to par, they are game ready, and they are well maintained. Secondly, we have to ensure that there is sustainable programming. We need to ensure that our coaches are well trained, they are at the highest level, because there is a direct relationship between the quality of coaches and the quality of athletes that they put forward. So we will continue to work with our athletes.
A high point of 2023 was the exploits of track star Jillian Alfred, who captivated the moments with her astounding speed and remarkable achievements on the track. Dominated sprinting events, Alfred, a symbol of determination, resilience, and sportsmanship, made St. Lucia proud. Securing numerous gold medals, Alfred took St. Lucia all the way to sporting excellence in 2023.
There, but here comes Alfred. She shifts gears.
scores, and she's going to take the title. Julian Alfred, and in lane 3, Kennedy Blackman of Oklahoma comes up for second. That's a bit of a surprise. 10:72. That is
the 2023 Barman winner for the Women's Award is Julian Alfred.
I'm very happy to see that one of ours can be on the map representing Saint Lucia. I'm very proud of her because she came very, very, very far. And based on her age, I find she have more medals to receive ahead.
I think for somebody coming from our island to be on a world stage like that is something to be excited for. So I'm very excited for her.
I want to say to Ms. Alfred that we are very proud of her, and the entire people of Saint Lucia are rooting for her, and we know that we have a champion, somebody who I'm sure will bring us gold sooner than later.
Thank you so much, Ron. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
As we prepare to welcome the new year, we congratulate the achievements of the many sons and daughters of St. Lucia who did well in 2023. Thanks for the many hopeful stories and memorable shared accomplishments. Wishing everyone a wonderful year ahead. On behalf of all of us here at the GIS, I am Nivalo Geist. Thank you.
It's time for St. Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.